Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott's Selections here for Friday, September 18th. We're getting to today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. So in addition to the play of the day, we ended up giving out a couple of football plays in the joint video with Scott Steen and I on Today in Sports Betting. So I'll recap all three of those plays now. And so the play of the day, we ended up losing with the Celtics -2.5 at -110 on FanDuel. We ended up climbing up to 3. Celtics were up 17 in the first half and then ended up blowing the game and losing outright. So Boston is now in serious trouble. I was right about Kemba bouncing back. However, they turned the ball over way too much. Defensively, they fell apart in the second half, and they had no answers for Miami's zone. But anytime you're up 17 points and you're laying 2.5 and the team loses outright, not exactly a great result, so to speak. But as for the NFL, we ended up sweeping the board as we ended up having the Bengals +6, which was available on BetOnline at -110. We also had Odell Beckham Jr. over 59.5 receiving yards, which was available on FanDuel at -110. So we ended up winning both of those. The spread was a bit lucky with the Bengals as they ended up getting the backdoor cover with Joe Burrow leading the long drive to cut the game to 5. And overall, we ended up making a little bit over a unit yesterday, so a nice day overall. We're going to be looking for another solid day here with the play of the day, and we're going to be looking at baseball. I know that some people were hoping for an NBA show with the Lakers and Nuggets game 1, but the Lakers tend to come out slow in the series so far in the playoffs, as they tend to field their opponent out in game 1 before destroying them from games 2 through 5, whereas the Nuggets have also come out slow a little bit in game 1s of their series as well. So I'm a little bit I'm kind of going to give it a wait-and-see approach to see what happens in Game 1 and judge accordingly in the future. But for the play there, we're going to be looking at a baseball matchup here between the Cleveland Indians and the Detroit Tigers. And the play that is going to be on the Indians -1.5 runs, which is available at -122 on FanDuel. Now, a couple reasons why I like the Indians in this spot. First of all, the Indians were on a massive losing streak. They finally broke it yesterday as Shane Bieber was great once again, ended up winning by the score of 10-3. Cleveland has dominated Detroit in the past. A lot of people might know. People might not realize how badly they have dominated them. The Indians have won 43 of the last 52 meetings between these two teams, and they've also won 35 of the last 51 meetings in Detroit. So even on the road, the Indians have absolutely smacked the Tigers at Comerica Park, and I think that trend will continue in this one. Now, even though the Indians have not been playing well lately, with the exception of yesterday's victory, the Tigers have been equally bad as they have lost 5 of their last 6 games, and if you even want to go further than that, they have lost 7 of their last 9 games. They have been falling apart. However, what makes it even worse for the Tigers is the fact that if you look at the margins that they've been losing by, these games have not even been close. Each of their last 4 losses have come by at least 3 runs, and they are getting absolutely just demolished right now. And the Tigers definitely peaked earlier in the year when they were towards the top of the AL Central, but everything fell apart very quickly, and this team continues to enter free falls. They are currently half a game ahead of Kansas City for last place in the division, or I should say for 4th place in the division. And if they end up losing and Kansas City wins, then they might move into last. But the other reason why I like it, besides the fact that the Indians are the much better team that have been dominating the series in the past, is the fact that the Tigers have an awful starting pitcher on the mound, and the Indians should have a significant starting pitcher advantage. And for that reason, I like the Indians. The Indians are going to be going with Zach Plesac, who has been very solid this year with a 3-2 record alongside a 2.20 ERA. He has been a little bit worse on the road this season. His ERA is in the 3s, but still very serviceable. And he'll be going up against none other than Michael Fulmer, who has been terrible, as he is 0-2 with a 9.27 ERA. To make matters worse, though, for Fulmer, he does have a 2.15 whip. If you look at his numbers against the Indians, he has been even worse. So his ERA this season is a 9.27 ERA, but his ERA against the Indians in 2 games is 12.71. So the Indians, as a team, are batting .400 against Fulmer. And I think that Plesac, even though he has been a little bit worse on the road than he has overall, I still think that he's a significantly better starting pitcher. He should pitch well in the spot. I think Fulmer will get shelled, especially after the Indians' offense finally woke up. You have the wind that's also going to play a factor, as the wind is blowing out roughly 13 miles an hour to right field, which is an issue for Fulmer because that will cause the Indians to use a ton of their power lefty bats against them, which should lead to a couple of home runs. I know Ramirez had a couple yesterday, Lindor as well. All threats from the left side, and I think that Fulmer will struggle a lot in this matchup. So I think the Indians could once again score 10 runs, definitely, but I think that there is a good chance that Plesac could end up pitching extremely well because he has been sharp all year long, and Detroit's offense has struggled lately. In addition to losing all of their last 4 games by margin, if you want to break down their actual offensive numbers, they have not scored more than 3 runs in just to break it down, they've scored more than 3 runs in 1 out of their last 6 games. So this team cannot score, and I think the Indians should be able to score around 7 or 8 in this matchup. So for that reason, I think the Indians should win this game probably in the realm of 8-3, something like that. But at minus 122, you're going to be a team that's dominated the opposition so heavily with the significant starting pitcher advantage, and I think that price is too low. For the play of the day here on Scott Selection for Friday, September 18th, we're going to be going with the Indians on the run line of minus 122 on FanDuel. That's an installment of Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.